Man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Angel Reese, boy, she does look good. You see? That's right. That's what she pulled up to Chicago at the Wild Now, man. Look at her, man, half naked. Showing what God gave her. Yeah. I ain't gonna front, man. I think a decent amount of men know that Angel Reese is an attractive woman, and so does Charleston White. So recently, Charleston White was on the Jeff Teague podcast a few days ago, right? Let me see. Pull it right here. Right. So he was on the Jeff Teague podcast, and he had some comments about Angel Reese and what she should be wearing during these games.
That conversation because I think it's stupid between the better players.
I think Angel Reese want to sell pussy. I think Angel Reese really don't want to play basketball. I think she want to sell pussy.
No,
she trying to look, Chuck.
She coming out too sexual.
Dub, no, I ain't gonna let you do that one.
You ain't.
She's trying to. I'm trying to have us at the WNBA All-Star.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's your take.
Now, BN don't never defend the WNBA, so for him to do this, I love this. No, I think she's just trying to make sure she don't look like a dude. Like she's trying to keep it like she's trying to brand outside of basketball. Yeah, like I'm a woman. I like men.
She's tapping into that whole side. She tapping into that whole side of it.
No, she not. There's so many. It's a WNBA player that look like me and you. So she's trying to make it seem like
more girly.
Yeah,
she's trying to make it more like you can still be attracted to. You ain't got to be left-handed to play the W. Basically, what she's saying.
It's a Charleston White and the BN on the FIFA right there. Woo, she's trying to switch the narrative, bro.
I'll take that, dude.
And they dress it like this.
I'll take that. But I still think she need to do OnlyFans, like Shaq said. She need to dunk in her panties. Shaq told her that. Shaq told her she needed to go dunk in her panties.
Shaq didn't say that. He was out of pocket. Is wild for saying that.
Yo, the crazy part is, Shaq really did say that. But all right, I'm gonna continue it, right? But so far, I'll say this. I'm not saying Charleston's right. I'm not saying he's wrong either. Right. But, when you dress like Angel Reese does from time to time and you're always putting out thirst traps, this is the intention that you invite. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about that. But let's continue.
Y'all, stop.
I'm with you, Shaq. I'm with you. Some lace panties. Not no boy shorts. I'm with you, Shaq.
Charleston said not the boy short?
No, dunk in some panties with no bra. Watch what them numbers do. That's how you sell tickets.
Nah, we don't need that. That's why we got Caitlin. Caitlin keeping it cool.
Okay. Yeah, Caitlin keeping it cool.
You know what I mean? It's girls that look like Caitlin that are straight. She's trying to say, hey, I have a man. You know what I mean? Push that narrative.
Yeah, y'all call it. That's
Angel Reese is trying to push some sex appeal to the WNBA. Like we ain't all dressing like
pussy when they're on the road. Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So Caitlin Clark, right? She doesn't do all the stuff that Angel Reese does when it comes to advertising her body. Because let's be clear, Angel Reese does advertise her body, and I'm not really against it entirely. I don't really care, me personally. I just don't like when women say, "Oh, well, I wish men would have more respect for us. Why are women always being sexualized?" Well, when you go on stage half naked, like you did when you was in Chicago, you're actually sexualizing yourself. So when you put yourself out there in that light, don't get mad that. See, this is the problem with the internet, right? People always put stuff out there on the internet and they expect the reaction to be how they want it to be. And I think that's the mistake that a lot of women make. They go on the internet, they're half naked, right? And then they get mad that, oh, why are we being sexualized? Or why are men looking at us this way? Like, this is not godly. Like, stop it. Like, this is ridiculous. But recently, I know you guys know who the Cooking with Kaya chick is. Now, I know this is not a cooking subject, right? But everyone got mad at Cooking with Kaya because she be in thirst trap photos cooking, and a whole bunch of women were mad about it. And in my opinion, it was like, yo, why y'all so mad about it? All y'all are half naked anyway. So, damn, at least she could cook. Shoot, like what a woman who dressed half naked and she could cook? Yo, man, she's up. That's how the men were looking at it, and a lot of women knew that, and they wanted to team up to try to like throw hate her way. And that's how Cooking with Kai got so many views. Now, why would I bring that up? Simple. In a situation with Angel Reese, sex sells, damn it. All right, sex sells. Now, a lot of women get mad that the WNBA doesn't produce a lot of sales because the women are not watching the league. That's why. That's why the NBA always kills the WNBA in sales, because a lot of men are invested into the product of basketball. Now, I know Charleston White had a grimy way of saying what he said, and it was funny as hell nonetheless. But if you just take the emotion out of it, listen, man, if you bring some sex appeal to the WNBA a little bit, not too much, but a little bit, you will get a little more views. So he's not entirely wrong about what he's saying.
Most of them hoes sucking pussy on the road.
Well, but mass majority of them are for sure.
Yeah, nigga, they putting pressure on the ones that ain't.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That is true. That's a fact. Unspoken about things.
They probably suck pussy till your hair catch on fire. Who wouldn't want their head smoking? Yeah, man, I'll make my woman quit the NBA. Shit, man.
Hey, you know what's funny? I thought about Home Alone with his hair was on fire.
On
fire.
It's a lot of jellyfish in the WNBA.
Excuse me? Jellyfish. What else happened this year, man? Do not let the shout out to the WNBA, man. All-Star game coming soon. We trying to tap in. We need it back. It's in nap too. You got to pull back up the W All-Star game, man.
You can go sit down and talk to them about
that.
Man,
I ain't finna watch no hoes play no basketball.
Come on, man. We gotta go.
I ain't finna watch no hoes play no basketball.
This
ain't got nothing to do with the podcast. They can't dunk. Yeah, can't none of them dunk from the
They are dunking now, though. It's a couple of them.
You got.
All right. All right, that was crazy. All right, but here's the thing, right? So a lot of people, mainly women in particular, right? They saw this clip, they got mad about it, and they started, sending Jeff Teague a whole bunch of emails complaining, trying to cancel him, saying, "Oh, this is not right. This is not this is what's that word they use? Oh, misogyny. Yeah, that word. Misogyny. This is so sexist. I can't believe they would say something like that." Well, listen, man, when you guys go on the internet and you dress half naked for views, this is the type of energy you attract. That's why Charleston White said it. I mean, like, come on, like, that's the only reason why he said it. If Angel Reese would do what Caitlin Clark does and not really be so revealing towards her, because the thing is, Angel Reese is being revealing with the thirst traps because she's trying to be an influencer. She got her own podcast, by the way, and nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's good to make some extra money on the side. But the reality is that as a content creator, because Angel Reese is a basketball player / content creator now, anytime when you put content on the internet, people have the right to call you out, myself included. So you can't be this fragile. And unfortunately, a lot of women, like people, like society in general, man, they just want to cancel people left and right just because they have a difference of opinion. And I think it's kind of corny. But I found this TikTok right here of this girl giving her explanation as to why she didn't like what
because
Jeff Teague had to say. Let's start it.
I wasn't going to say anything about the Jeff Teague podcast clip that came out about Angel Reese, because if I'm honest, like, I'm just so tired of like giving Black men that think that way a platform. Like, I'm tired of even like needing to acknowledge that conversations need to be had within the Black community. Like, this is like, their comments were offensive to Angel, to Black women, to players in the WNBA, all of those things. And it's just like, I'm just so tired of it. And the thing is that I understand that there's nothing that I can say, there's nothing that anybody can say, there's no amount of backlash that will ever deplatform these people. But at the same time, I think that it's fair to acknowledge that it sucks to see those 4 Black men sit up there and say that about another Black woman. It sucks to know that there are so many people out there who won't actually publicly say those things, but do think that way, or will say it in their smaller friend group. There's nothing that was said during that podcast, or nothing that's been being said on Black Twitter and on Black TikTok that is being productive anymore at this point. Like, this conversation is just going to start the cycle of everything that we talk about every 60 days, which is somebody talks about a Black woman in their body or a decision that they made. And so then that leads to a conversation about how much sex people are having and calling people sluts and whores and degrading them for making their own decisions with their bodies. And then that turns into a conversation about, oh, this is why I don't date within my race. And this is why I'm not starting a family and blah, 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 blah. And that leads to a whole conversation about Black men. And then that turns into Black men talking about their mental health and how nobody cares.
Okay, well, here's the thing, right? Homegirl in this clip right here, she's not, I respect what she's saying, but I respectfully disagree with what she's saying. Because, you know, she sits there and says that she doesn't want the conversation about women and what they should be doing with their bodies. Okay, well then how about this? If you don't like that, then stop being half naked on the internet. It's that simple. Don't be half naked all the time on the internet. When you're half naked on the internet about a bunch of men who are horny, we will talk about it. That's how the internet is. Like, perfect example. Let's say if I start posting pictures of myself, right? And I don't want no one critiquing my outfits. Well, that's not reality, because if I post pictures of my outfits on the internet, people have the right to critique whether I like it or not, right? I understand that. And I think the problem is that so many people, I mean, not this girl in particular, not her, but so many people, especially women who want to be half naked IG thoughts, what happens is that they're so narcissistic. They want to be half naked with their titties out, trying to be the next Amber Rose. And, you know, like, it's cool. You know, hey, listen, you know, internet prostitution is up, you know, get the bag. But nonetheless, you know, when you do stuff like that, people have the right to criticize. That's just the way it is. Like, you can't just put your private life and a piece of your naked life out there in public and you expect people not to say anything. Like, nobody can be this narcissistic. So if women want the conversation to be about how they are as women, how they think mentally, what they bring to society in a productive way, if you want the narrative to change, then you need to change your image online. And being half naked with a bonnet ain't gonna do it. I understand, you know, you wearing a bonnet in the rain. I mean, who cares about that? But you being half naked, you know, acting like you a stripper online, it's just not gonna give you the best image. I mean, I'm sorry. Now, if you want to do that, that's fine. Do what you want, but just know what comes with it.
Cares about it. And I'm going to be really honest with you. It's likely that people aren't taking that seriously because y'all cause so much damage to other people because you're hurting on the inside. That's really just what that's coming down to. And obviously, I'm not talking.
Wait, all right, hold up. All right, now I disagree with that part. No one is hurting on the inside. No one's hurting on the inside. Slow down. Just because you're getting called out, it doesn't mean people are hurting on the inside all the damn time, right? Do people have a tendency to project? Yes, but in this situation, this has nothing to do with projection. Angel Reese posts his thirst traps and half-naked pictures and vids constantly to promote herself. Now, that's fine because she's a content creator and she can do what she wants. But like I said earlier, when you're a content creator and you put things on the internet, you're not going to always get the reaction that you want. Like, come on. Like, I mean, listen, and this girl right here, she's sitting here saying that people are negative and they're hurting on the inside. All right, cool. That's a fair point. You know, there are negative people out there in the world, but if you know that, then you can't put yourself in up. Like, that's like me going out there saying like, oh, man, life sucks. I feel like a loser. I can't pay my bills. I can't give my mom no money. If I make a video putting that out there on the internet, I'm going to get clowned most likely. I'm probably not going to get a lot of sympathy because I already understand that most of the world is 80% negative. I'm aware of that. And that's something that a lot of women need to be aware of. When you dress half naked and you're celebrating legalized prostitution, you're not going to always get the feedback that you want. That's just what it is.
About all Black men, this is a generalized statement, but there are so many men who will not openly have these conversations within their friend group and won't call out their friends, won't call out coworkers, won't call out the guys they play pickup with. And then this constant cycle keeps continuing. And you wonder why your sons like like y'all don't even let your sons be emotional. You don't let young Black men have feelings. You don't talk about your feelings. You don't do any of these things. And then you go and start degrading women, and it just complete the same cycle over and over and over again. And I just like, are you guys not tired of that? Like, I get so tired. It's always and people always talk about, oh, Black community, we need to be a community again. There are problems beyond, like, there are so many problems that, like, there's no amount of community that can fix some of this stuff. Like, and I get it. It's society.
Listen, man, any community, any team, any organization, or any business can always do well when there's accountability involved. All right, you gotta be able to look in the mirror at some point. You know, you're not always the innocent angel that you think you are. And I'm not talking about her specifically because I don't know this girl, but at the same time, you know, she's sitting here talking about, oh, you know, men always degrade women, and men are emotional and they don't respect women. Listen, man, a part of the reason why is because women on Instagram nowadays, they dress like dots. I'm sorry. Like, what do you want the men to do? Why is it always our fault when we call out bullshit that we didn't create? See, this is why I'm so passionate about this topic right now, because this is a part of the reason why I can't stand working in corporate America. I really, really can't. That's why especially in production. Like I told you guys, I used to work in TV production a couple years ago, and I stopped doing it because I'm like, yo, man, all y'all fake as hell. Every time when someone like disagrees with you, you try to find a way to get them fired. I always thought it was weak. Like, you can never give a difference of opinion. Like, shit, this election proved it. Look at the election, whether you like Trump or Kamala Harris or not. Someone could tell you their vote, and you want to shame them as a person because they didn't vote the same way you voted, or they didn't have the same opinion you have. You can't be trying to cancel everybody just because they have a difference of opinion. And at the same time, when people are always giving you negative feedback, at some point, you do have to look in the mirror a little bit. You can disagree. Disagreeing is fine, but you have to have some self-awareness. Like, you can't put out all these thirst trap pictures and then you expect men to always respect you more than you being a prostitute. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Now, I believe that women should always be respected. Like, I'll put it like this. You should always treat a woman how she treats herself. If she treats herself like a slut, then you treat her like a slut. But if she treats herself like a respectable human being, then you treat her like a respectable human being. I think that's fair. And if you don't think that's fair, then you could play in traffic. But that's my opinion. But nonetheless, you can't just be trying to cancel people because of their opinion all the time. I think that's whack. I think that's corny, and I think that's a sense of emotional immaturity. Because I always thought that was weak. See, this is the problem with most spaces in the internet and even in jobs. It's just too many. It's just too much human politics. It's just so bad, bro. Like, people will try to fire you because they had a bad day. People will try to fire you because they don't like your personality. Like, one time, I kid you not, one time I was at work, I had a coworker tell me that she didn't like me because I reminded her of her brother. See, look at that, man. You got negative energy around you. You have a whole nother op at work just because you remind her of a family member. So it's my job as to why you didn't want to get a fucking therapist. Really. But let me know what you think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, this is a very interesting video because I understand people didn't like what Charleston White said. And you don't have to like what he said. That's fine. You can disagree. But if you disagree, if you don't like Charleston White, or if you don't like what he said, you can unsubscribe or block. Jeff Teague has a legit podcast. He invited Charleston White on the podcast. And then all of a sudden, you're going to try to cancel Jeff Teague's podcast because of the guests he brought on. Like, who are you to tell the content creator what guests they can't have on? And the crazy part is that most of the people talking bad about that podcast and about that clip with Charleston White, most of them are not consistent watchers for Jeff Teague. They're not. They're just not. But let me know what you think in the comments. I'm out. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.